blast. Teenage dreams and neon screens. It was all rad, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like whatever, together forever. We're never gonna sever. Laughing and sharing our stories clever. We'll take you back. It's like whatever.
Welcome to Like Whatever, a podcast for, by, and about Gen X. I'm Nicole, and this is my BFFF, Heather.
Hello.
So I'm going to start with Saturday Night Live 50-year special.
Oh, yeah, I watched it too.
Did you watch it too?
I did, because I knew you were watching it.
Did you watch the whole thing?
I did.
Whew.
All 3.5 hours of it.
Yes.
What was up with that?
But wasn't it awesome, though?
It was very good, yes.
Yeah, I think my favorite, I loved all the music, but I think Miley and Brittany Howard paying homage to Sinead O'Connor, that was amazing. They did a beautiful job with it.
Yes, they did.
And of course, Paul McCartney. That's always kind of cool. But it was so neat to see so many people in one room. It was overwhelming. And I know we see that at the Oscars and such, but it just was different.
I think crammed into that studio, I think is what it was.
Yes.
You don't expect to see nothing but celebrities in there. You expect to see the actual audience. You know what I mean? The audience. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was neat. I think my favorite skit was Black Jeopardy.
Yeah.
When Eddie Murphy was playing Tracy Morgan.
Oh my God. Yes.
I mean, I've always been a huge Tracy Morgan fan. Actually, back a few years back when he had the tour bus accident,
right,
up on the Jersey Turnpike.
Yes.
He was coming from Dover Downs.
I was going to say, he's coming from Dover.
Yep. And my husband and I were at Dover Downs that night just to hang out. We went into, gamble a little bit. And we had both previously worked there. So sometimes we knew the right people for things. So we got connected with a couple tickets to the show. And we walked through the hotel lobby and he was in there with his entourage.
Cool.
So I have pictures of him 10 feet away from me. It was
wow. Yeah.
Very, very cool. So yeah, we saw him. And then after that night, he had that accident, which stunk. But still, I was very, very starstruck. I have always loved him.
Yeah, I like Tracy Morgan.
He's hilarious.
The Scared Straight one, too. Oh,
Yes.
Come on. That was that none of them could keep it together.
Yes.
That was that one. But I was a little, you know what I was disappointed about? No Stefan.
We said the same thing. Jay fell asleep last night, and the first thing he asked me about it this morning was, did Stefan ever make an appearance? And I said he was part of a clip for a half second, but it wasn't about him.
No, and I thought when Seth Meyers came on, I was like, oh, on the Weekend Update, I was like, oh, they're going to bring Stefan in. Maybe because it was problematic. I don't know. I can't imagine anybody would be upset about
I don't know.
Stefan, but...
Oh, he was one of my favorites. But speaking of problematic, I also loved how they handled, we haven't always been perfect.
Yes.
It has been 50 years, and we did make some poor choices. And
yes.
They showed pictures of R. Kelly and P. Diddy.
Yes.
They were like, oops, our bad.
I enjoyed that part too. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was neat that they addressed that and didn't just pretend none of that ever happened. And then when they were blurring out the blackface and stuff, they were just mortified, but they were like, let's just put it out there.
Yeah. It was good.
Yeah.
It made me a little teary with the John Belushi in the graveyard part.
Yes. Wasn't that
was
so ironic?
Really was.
Yeah.
It really was. And it was very sad.
And Adam Sandler's song about the past 50 years.
Dan Aykroyd wasn't there either.
He wasn't.
Huh. I saw Chevy Chase on the red carpet.
Yeah, but he wasn't in the show.
No. I wonder if just Dan Aykroyd wasn't there and they just I don't know. Or that
I haven't heard much from him lately. Maybe he's not well.
I know that he has been very busy. How can I put this nicely? He's big into aliens, extremely, one of the number one alien people.
Okay,
conspiracy theory guy. He is He was on, they interviewed him on last podcast on the left. And he is
so is he a little mental with it?
I mean, I guess that depends on your feelings about the whole alien thing.
Well, speaking of aliens, they did do one of my all-time favorite skits as well with Kate McKinnon, and they're all getting abducted.
Oh, yeah, and Meryl Streep.
Yes.
Yeah. She couldn't keep it together either.
Oh my gosh, that's always been one of my favorite skits.
Yeah, that was good.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed. I stayed awake the whole time. I'm tired today, but I was
Yeah.
wide awake the whole time watching it.
I watched it. I didn't realize it was going to be that long.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, God, this thing's going to be ending any time. And then I was like, well, I guess it's going to end at 10. And then I was like, no. It was like 10:30. No. 11. No.
Well, I watched the red carpet show too, so they were talking about how it was supposed to be 3 to 11, but they were like, we're going to be here till 3 in the morning. Like, we have so much. Like, they were saying it was going to go.
I didn't
way
see
over.
that part of the. I guess I didn't. I wasn't really paying attention to the red carpet.
Mm-hmm.
I was on TikTok. Mm-hmm. I was TikToking it up. But what I have to talk about this week is that goddamn anglerfish. Look, here's the thing. You know, but maybe some of you out there don't know. I struggle with depression, have for my whole life. It's a battle that some days I win, some days I don't. And I want to call it the Disneyfication of everything. You know, I'm like a huge Disney fan anyway. And like, you know, like all of that where they personify inanimate objects and all that.
Right.
So I have an issue with that anyway, where I like to personify my inanimate objects. But this damn anglerfish, it's just, I mean, I get it. She was sick. That's why. But she made it from like 8,000 feet under the ocean all the way to the surface without getting eaten. Mm-hmm. She just, I mean, I know it was like some kind of issue with her because down at the depths it's crushing. So, you know, the buoyancy is an issue once they start getting up high. I get all that. I get she's dying. I get she's a fish. And she didn't understand and all that. But the memes and the inspirational sayings going on all over the internet with this goddamn fish. Mm-hmm. So anyway, now I want an anglerfish tattoo.
No.
Yeah.
Do you know what I didn't know is how tiny she is?
I know, because that picture makes it seem like she's huge.
Well, I thought she was at least like the size of a balloon.
Yeah. Like
somewhere in there, but I think 3 centimeters or something.
It's
like
teeny tiny. It fits in the palm of your hand. I know. You know what it is for me? In that picture, it's her eyes. Mm-hmm. Like the way she's like looking up. I don't know. It's the damn fish got me.
And she is super cute.
I mean, yeah. So I think that's going to be my next tattoo. Where? I don't know.
I like it.
Because I'm running out of room on my arms. I'm going to have to start moving to my legs. Mm-hmm. And I hate getting my legs tattooed. So I guess that's where it's going to have to go. But because I like to see my tattoos.
Yes.
And so I put them all on my arms where I can see them. And now I'm running out of arm space. So I have to start putting them on my legs, I guess. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was my thing this week. Yeah. Also, I was playing around this week with I found this way to animate your own audio.
Exciting. I have seen a little bit of your magic.
I made 2 of them.
Uh-huh.
If you're interested, you can check out if you check out the YouTube, that is where I put my thing on the YouTube.
Yes.
I made one with Nicole and I made one with myself. So the program that I found to do it, you can only use one person's audio. So you can't do like a back and forth. I could probably figure out how to do a back and forth, but that is above my pay grade currently. Mm-hmm, so I will continue to work on that. But the YouTube has the 2 shorts, the animated shorts, and I frankly think they were pretty cute.
They are very cute.
So
let's see what else. I this week was watching MeTV on Sunday morning. I had the house to myself. I have my coffee and I'm scrolling, and So I just wanted something on for background noise, but I put on me TV and I caught Happy Days just as it was starting.
Oh.
That was so much fun. The Fonz, of course, was curled up in a recliner,
Hey.
kissing all over a girl.
That's funny.
And so the next half hour was Laverne and Shirley, followed by the Andy Griffith Show.
Uh-huh.
And then I Love Lucy. So I had 2 hours of like some of my favorite shows of all time. It was really fun.
That's nice. I was home all day yesterday by myself too. I didn't even turn the TV on. I turned no noise on at all.
I do that a lot.
It was dead ass quiet.
If I'm home alone a lot of times, because my husband, if he's here, he has to have the TV on.
Yes.
And I do like my silence.
I do too. I just love. I'm sorry I interrupted. Go on.
No, you're okay. I have one last GenX thing to share before we get into. So I went in for a checkup today and GenX issues. First, I'm waiting in the lobby, and it was hilarious because there were like these 80-year-old guys in there talking about the weather. And I haven't heard old men talk about the weather in a long time, and it was really entertaining. Like apparently it thundered at 3:00 in the morning the other night,
Yes.
and the one old man was up to go pee, and the other guy was like, "I didn't hear that." And like, where do you live? And
We got a nasty storm came through.
It was this whole big thing for them. Yeah. So anyway, my joints hurt. I had to get a shot.
Yuck.
So now my left arm feels like somebody punched me.
I avoid shots at all costs.
I do too, but I've had shingles before and it's not fun.
I know. I remember that.
Oh gosh.
I felt so bad for you.
Yeah, it was a race weekend. I used to work at a casino and they had a racetrack and they had NASCAR twice a year. So it was the very start of race weekend. I mean, you just work 16, 18 hours a day, 3 days straight, and there's nothing you can do about it. So the very first day I show up and I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. I don't feel good. And my back was itching. And by like the end of Friday, I showed one of my friends because they had a friend who had just had shingles. And they said, it sounds like you have shingles. And they looked at my back and they were like, oh yeah, that's shingles because I had the rash. And I was like, well, I guess I'll have to wait till Monday. And I proceeded to work the whole weekend. Very sick and a lot of pain.
Yeah, that was
But there's no option. I mean,
no.
Plus the money you couldn't miss.
No.
Yeah, so I had to be there. But yeah, so I got my second. It's 2 shots even, which is the really fun part.
Ugh.
Yeah, because it's one of those that burns when it goes in.
Oh, no.
And then your whole arm hurts. Yeah.
They keep trying to make me get a pneumonia shot. And I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah. I needed to get a flu shot, but I always have symptoms. So, I mean, it would have been a great excuse to call out work tomorrow, but I'm trying to be mature.
I every time she's like, well, you really should get the pneumonia shot. And I'm like, I'll just die at my own juices. I'm cool.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
And then the colonoscopy, which I've still never done.
I did.
She's like, well, what about the Cologuard? I said, you sent me the Cologuard. I'm just not going to do that. She's like, why? And I said, it's not even the whole, if you don't know what Cologuard is, it's that little commercial and they send you the box and it's like easy peasy. Just put a little piece of poop in there and mail it back. Like no big deal. But then you open it and there's like all these directions and oh my gosh, it's overwhelming and I don't do well with overwhelming. So, she was like, well, do you want to do the Cologuard? I said, to be honest, if you keep giving me that thing, I'm never going to do it. So just tell me to go to a doctor.
I had to do they wanted me to do I got serious stomach trouble. Because again, I didn't think I would be alive this long. So all the ibuprofen that I took in my 20s is now catching up to me. And I have pretty much removed the lining of my stomach.
All the Vivarin we took in
good
college
God.
probably didn't help any either.
No, none of the things I do in life has helped that situation. So they wanted to do a scope to see what was going on. And she was like, well, I mean, you're doing the scope. They got you out. You might as well. And I was like, all right. But when I had to do the prep for it, I really, honestly, I thought I was going to die.
See, I'm terrified of that.
Well, it's probably not so bad if you're somebody other than me, because it's not what it used to be. So you don't have to drink whatever juice they used to make. Now you just mix up like Mucinex or whatever, not the snot stuff, but
right.
You just mix it up into whatever beverage of choice you want that's clear or not red. So that's fine because then at least it tastes like whatever it is you want. But then they give you pills. So my prep was for like 2 days.
Oh,
Yeah, it was 2 days before my
right.
thing. So on my first day, I had to drink the juice all starting at like 2 p.m. and then straight through. And then the next day, so the day before, I had to do these little pills and you had to take like 5 of them at once. And they were just, I don't remember what they were called, but it's over the counter.
Yeah.
And so I had to take like 5 of them. And then like a couple hours later, you take like 3 more. So I went and I took the first 5 and I don't know what in the world happened, but my system was like, no, we're not. And I started puking. When I mean everywhere, I mean, I couldn't even get up off the sofa.
Oh my gosh.
Was just, I would be like, I think I have to, and then just throw up. So I had to end up calling the doctor and I was like, and after I took those, I literally could not drink anything, water, nothing.
Oh.
Yeah, it was bad. So
Well, I've heard it's bad, but not that bad. So
that's the last time I ever do that.
yeah,
I'll die of colon cancer. I'm cool with that. So,
all right. I think I'm all caught up on all my stuff for the week now.
okay. Okay. Well, then, how about if we fuck around and find out about my favorite Swatch? I have always loved Swatch. I have had a million of them, probably not a million, but I have had a good number of them. So my sources are swatch.com, swatchgroup.com, the Swatch book, which who knew there was a book, by Arlette Kolinsky, and Swatch, the story of the reinvention of the Swiss watch industry by Nicholas Hayek.
Alrighty.
Swatch, the brand that revolutionized the world of watches, has a rich and fascinating history.
I can't wait.
Launched in the early 80s, which I have it in here somewhere. Oh, yeah. It was March 1st, 1983.
Okay.
It quickly became a symbol of innovation, creativity, and affordability. Although I don't really remember it ever being that affordable.
Yeah, because I got one.
Yeah, they were not cheap.
It was a Christmas present, and that was that. When I was a kid, anyway.
March 1st, 1983, by Nicholas Hayek, a visionary entrepreneur with a passion for revitalizing the Swiss watch industry. At the time, the industry was facing immense challenges due to the quartz crisis, which had led to a significant decline in demand for traditional mechanical watches. Now, I've always been I don't have one on today, but I feel naked without a watch. I always have. I've always had a watch. I always like watches. I don't like digital watches, although now I have a smartwatch, so I really hate that. But I need the smartwatch. I don't need it, but
right.
It lets me know when things are happening on my phone that I should be aware of. And when I don't have to look at my phone.
I'm a big fan of wearing a watch. I had a lot through, like, I remember watches being something I liked. Like, I really like getting a nice watch for Christmas, or I have some of my mom's old watches from when she was a teen. Yeah. So I have always been, and I'm the same. I'm not down with digital too much.
My mom, no, it's my dad. My dad has, oh man, it's a very special watch. And now I don't remember what it is because it was one of the cartoons from when they were kids, like not Howdy Doody, but some cowboy. I don't remember what it is, but it's on like it's in, I like when these people die, the shit that they have kept, like my mom has an original Barbie.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
Yes. I think it's still in the box. I mean, it's been played with, but I'm pretty sure she still has the box. And then he has this, she has a Sally Star doll too. Sundance Kid, Butch Cassidy, I think is his watch. And it's on like a little saddle.
Aww.
So he has all of that. So,
yeah,
that's going on eBay immediately. They won't even be cold yet. And I'll be like, we're getting that watch up. So I've always worn watches. And I do not like digital because I don't like numbers. You know how I am about numbers. I like to be able to see the time and not have to do math. So back to Swatch.
Okay.
Hayek's vision was to create a watch that combined the precision of Swiss, this is going to be real hard for me today, Swiss watchmaking and innovative design and affordability. He collaborated with the two major Swiss watchmakers, I swear to God, Swiss watchmakers facing financial difficulties to bring his vision to life. The early years of Swatch were marked by challenges and skepticism. The idea of using plastic for watches was revolutionary, but met with resistance. However, Hayek's determination and belief in his vision drove the company forward.
Thank goodness.
Yes. The quartz crisis.
I don't even remember the quartz crisis.
Well, it began in the late 70s.
Okay.
Probably that's why you probably didn't know, because you probably weren't watching the news.
No.
Or nor did we probably care.
I probably didn't know what quartz was.
No. It was a period of significant upheaval in the watch industry. The introduction of quartz technology by Japanese companies led to a dramatic shift in consumer preferences. Traditional mechanical watches were perceived as outdated and expensive, leading to a decline in demand. Swatch emerged as a response to this crisis by embracing quartz technology and offering stylish, affordable watches. Swatch was able to capture the attention of consumers and revive the Swiss. I swear to God. We're just going to pretend like I didn't fuck that up. So one of the most revolutionary aspects of Swatch was its use of plastic. Mm-hmm. This material allowed for vibrant and diverse designs that appealed to a wide audience.
Oh, yes.
Swatch watches were not just timekeepers. They were fashion accessories that reflected individual personalities. The concept of affordable luxury resonated with consumers and set Swatch apart from traditional watchmakers. Mm-hmm. Swatch's designs were distinctive and bold, characterized by bright colors, playful patterns, and innovative shapes. The brand collaborated with artists and designers to create limited edition collections that became highly sought after by collectors. As Swatch evolved, so did its designs. The brand continued to push the boundaries of creativity, experimenting with new materials and styles, from the classic plastic to the introduction of bioceramic watches. Swatch has consistently been at the forefront of design innovation. Although I did hear that they were supposed to be coming out with a smartwatch, and they have not yet. That was like rumors like when the iWatch first came out.
Oh.
Yeah, and I've been waiting for it because you bet your girl will be number one on the smart Swatch. Although, because I have a Samsung, so theirs is called the S Watch, it's already a Swatch.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're super sneaky that way.
Nice.
And maybe that's what Swatch was talking about. So Swatch quickly became a cultural phenomenon. Its bold designs and collaborations, they were wearable art. They really were.
Yeah, definitely.
Limited edition releases created a sense of exclusivity and collectability. Mm-hmm. The cultural impact of Swatch extended beyond the world of fashion. Swatch watches appeared in movies, TV shows, and music videos, becoming a staple of pop culture. Celebrities and influencers embraced the brand, further cementing its status as a fashion icon. Swatch's collaboration with artists have resulted in some of the most memorable and unique watch designs. From Keith Haring to Jeremy Scott, these collaborations have allowed Swatch to tap into different artistic styles and create watches that resonate with a diverse audience. Swatch protectors, swatching out the band. Oh, that's my note. So do you remember they invented the little jelly thing that went over so you could protect your Swatch?
Yes.
And they broke
literally
every time you try and put them on.
Yes.
But they came in like the little packs, so you had like 4 of them. Mm-hmm. And then the reason I liked Swatch, I mean, I really just like the Swatch, but because I worked in restaurants, the plastic is what sold me on Swatch, because it didn't get stinky, because it didn't get that restaurant stench that every other watch I had ever had. Plus, it was completely waterproof, so I could keep it on all the time. And the only problem with it was on the back where the battery was, it would get gunk, like crud in there. So you'd have to like take a pair of tweezers or pull the egg crap out of it. But I mean, it didn't smell. That's what I like. And then the bands would peel.
Mm-hmm.
Like the plastic part would peel up on the sides. So, but you could just replace the bands.
Right.
You could just, they had a million different kinds of bands that you could.
Yeah.
So I looked up the best, what they say are the best swatches.
Okay.
And I put that in air quotes because I don't know who decided these were the best
they
ones.
said.
Yeah, they did. The Google did. So the number one was this hot stuff from 1995. It has devil horns and one strap ends in a devil tail. There's no numbers on it, just like little flames.
Mm-hmm.
And I found it on Poshmark and I bought it because I don't know how in the hell I missed, because it was a Halloween one
Oh,
from 1995.
okay.
So how I missed that, I don't know, because that was the point. The early 90s, I guess once I started making my own money,
Mm-hmm.
my mom would get me one
Mm-hmm.
for Christmas every year. And then after that, I was like, well, I'm just going to start buying my own. And then the internet, you could find them on the internet after a while, so I could just order them on there. Anyway,
Right.
I would get one every year. So how I missed the devil, I don't
There
know.
must have been another one that year that really caught your eye.
I guess. I don't know. I'd have to look because I don't know how I missed that one. I mean, it is so fucking cool. It does. It's so cool. So I found one. The site's a little, I'm not sure. They haven't sent me a thing that says I can have it, but we'll see. Hopefully it gets here and I will fucking wear it. I'll take the damn Swatch off for that.
Yeah.
The second one was called Pooty, 1992, and it was the work of artist John Honor Fragonard. I took French, and
I was going to say
I know.
Frenchie.
Yeah, that was 30 some odd years ago.
True.
That I took French. It's not like I use it.
Mm-mm.
It paid tribute to the winged babes of the Renaissance art. It was a fabric strap.
Mm.
And it was the Renaissance babies,
Yeah, the little cherubs.
Yeah, it was that all over the dial, and it was very muted colors. It was pretty.
It sounds pretty.
Yeah. The 100 millionth swatch was a 92 celebrating the 100 millionth swatch. The face is a bunch of people. Like, it is probably, no offense, Swatch, but that fucker was ugly. It was just hideous. It was like a whole bunch of people on the front of it. And then the bands were like probably a centimeter of different patterns all the way up. Like clouds and houses and checkers. And it was a lot. Like,
Yeah.
I get what they were trying to do, put 100 million watches into one watch, but it was a lot. It was a lot. Carmelissima, and it looked like candy. It was like the candy necklaces.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like, it looked like a candy bracelet. It was really pretty. 90 Years of Mickey Mouse swatch. You'll never guess what's on that. It's Mickey Mouse.
Yes.
And it was the 90th anniversary of Mickey's Magnificence. It was limited to 19,999 pieces. It had one band was red, one was yellow, and then Mickey was on the face. Like, it was like a kind of an not abstract Mickey, but it was all circles.
Right.
So it wasn't like your typical Mickey.
Right.
But it was pretty cool. But it was definitely like, if you saw it from, you'd be like, oh, that's Mickey Mouse, the colors. Sweet Baby was a 1996, and it had a bunch of babies decorating both on the dial and on the strap. They were babies crying. It was the second ugliest watch I've ever seen.
Yeah, that sounds
It was fucking
really
ugly.
strange.
It was just as bad as the one with all the people on it. Like, stop putting people on there.
Right.
Tone in Blue was a musical swatch, which I did not know they had these either. The musical series consisted of some of the oddest watches Swatch ever released. They would play a tiny little tune by a famous musician. This one played a song by Jean-Michel Jarre.
What?
Yeah, I never knew they had. I didn't look to see if you could find those, because the one they had in the picture looked like it had been beat up pretty good. So I'm assuming that they were probably heavily played. Swatch Paparazzi Spot was the first Oh, it was. Oh, this one was ugly too. It was the first. The Swatch was the first company to work with Microsoft on their spot technology, and it died on the vine. It didn't get anywhere. It was really ugly. It looked like, you remember those robots, like with the weird heads? That was like it had bolts on the side and like a thing on its top of its head, like blue and gray, and it looked like that. It was real, and it was digital, and I don't like. I don't like it. It was ugly. The Serpent GZ102 was done by Keith Haring in '85. But that was the first one that art and commerce mixed in delightful ways. His whimsical watch now costs about $1,000 online. I don't remember what that one looked like. I looked at it, but I don't remember what it looked like. A Swatch Urine Double Dot. It's not a watch, but a movement. Ooh. In '99, Hayek and Nicholas Negroponte created Internet Time, a universal time standard, popular for a few years, and that fad died out recently, but it is still hanging on in some corners of the nerd community.
Nice.
So I guess it was universal time,
right? Which
is what Greenwich Mean Time. So it is still hanging on in the nerd community. I guess it's Greenwich Mean Time.
Yes.
Which I always called it Gretchen Bean Time. That's why I was getting caught up there, because it's Gretchen Bean Time to me. But it's Greenwich Mean Time. And then the last one that Google had is the jelly. And this one we all have seen. Mm-hmm. It is the one that is clear and you can see straight through it. Mm-hmm. And it is one of the oldest styles in the Swatch playbook. Completely transparent. And it defined the playful lines and odd styling of the Swatch world. Swatch was also at the forefront of technology advancements in the watch industry. The use of quartz technology ensured precise timekeeping, while continuous experimentation with materials led to innovations like the bioceramic swatch. The introduction of bioceramic watches marked a significant milestone for Swatch. The innovative material combined the durability of ceramics with the lightweight properties of plastic, resulting in watches that were both stylish and functional. Oh, I don't know that I've ever seen a. That's weird. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think. All mine were always just plastic. Well, I did have. I lied. I had one that was. I had my fancy Swatch that was chain.
Ooh.
Yeah, it had chain. It looked like a bracelet. Mm-hmm. That was for my going out Swatch.
Oh. That was your going to church Swatch.
Yeah. Swatch has also embraced digital innovations, incorporating smart technology into its watches. The brand's commitment to staying ahead of the curve has allowed it to remain relevant in an ever-changing market. They do have some, because I was on the website, they do have some. It's not a smart watch, really, but they're getting closer. I don't know if they just gave up on that, or, I mean, there's like, I don't know.
Maybe it just wasn't worth it.
There's probably just too many of them, and it's probably just too hard to compete in that market with Apple and Samsung running that show.
And they don't need it. Like, they have their thing.
They don't, because, like, you know, I don't know.
Right.
Swatch's success in the Swiss market paved the way for its expansion into international markets. The brand's global reach was further solidified with the formation of the Swatch Group, which brought people together, several prestigious watch brands under one umbrella. The diversification allowed Swatch to influence and shape the global watchmaking industry.
True.
Yeah, I know. Definitely. It established a strong presence in key regions, including North America, Europe, and Asia. Each market presented unique challenges and opportunities, and Swatch's ability to adapt ensured its success.
It was probably so fun to work at Swatch, like as a designer.
For real.
Oh my gosh.
They probably just gave you carte blanche and was just like, go ahead, here you go. You want to make a crazy watch? Have at.
Right.
The Swatch Group's acquisition of other watch brands allowed the company to diversify its offerings and cater to different segments of the markets. The strategic move further solidified Swatch's position as a leader in the watch industry. Because I know now they have and I think they always did too. I never leaned that way because those watches were too. Like I like a big watch, but the scuba watches were just too. They were huge. But
Yes.
they still have those. Yeah, they are huge. They're like your whole arm. I know. I just bought one.
Are they like Flavor Flav?
Yeah, they're not much smaller. No, I just got one for Joe for Christmas.
Oh,
It's you can see through it. You can see through it, and it is probably like I don't know, but it takes up. It's probably almost the size of my palm.
wow.
It is. It's probably like you can't see, but it's like that big. It's huge. It's all black, and then it's depth. It's got depth. So it's black on the top, black underneath, and then it's got like a yellow or an orange rim in there, and then the bands are orange and black. It's really pretty.
Sounds like it.
But it's just huge. He loves a big watch, and it's freaking huge. So effective marketing and branding were crucial to Swatch's success. The company's advertising campaigns were creative and memorable, establishing a strong brand identity. Swatch's ability to stay relevant and adapt to changing consumer preferences ensured its continued popularity. It focused on creating an emotional connection with consumers. The brand's campaigns often featured themes of individuality, creativity, and self-expression. So it was when I posted this on the Facebook page, I actually got a lot of opposition. Apparently, I'm like the only one that likes this watch.
I love Swatch.
I got a lot because I asked if anybody had,
Right.
and a lot of people were like, "Oh no, I would never have bought that." And it was like,
What?
I know. I don't know if it was controversial. I don't remember. I don't know.
No.
I guess maybe because of time. I don't know.
I just got a new one for Christmas last year.
I got like this one person like went at me about the Swatch, and then it said, "Oh," and then you know what he said? Here we go. Here's where this pissed me off. So I had to go back. But it was like, he was like, obviously you don't care about other people. And I was like, because I had fucking swatches? I didn't really understand. And then I can tell you live within 2 hours of an ocean. What? I mean, and I said, I live a block from the ocean. If that helps. And I don't know. It's just fucking weird. Like, I didn't.
That is very weird. And speaking of weird, when I was in the waiting room today listening to the old people,
Yeah.
you want to know why the one guy thinks the weather is being crazy?
Oh, let me guess. Weather machine.
All the stuff we put out in space. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he should talk to Elon about that. Because half of it's his.
No, he thinks it's a big waste of money to be spending to go up in space. Yeah, I know. I thought of you.
Okay.
Yeah, but us putting too many rockets in space is why the weather is the way it is now.
Okay.
Not global warming.
warming.
Correct.
No.
Yes.
Not that. Yeah.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
We're seeding weather.
We're poking holes in the atmosphere with all these rockets.
That's exactly what happens. Every time a rocket goes up, there's just a big hole there now. That's what the ozone, that's how they take them out. They have to wait for the hole in the ozone to come around before they shoot it off so that they can get out.
Right.
Stop punching holes in the... Sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So... the role of Swatch stores and pop-up shops in promoting the brand cannot be overlooked.
No.
These retail spaces provide consumers with an immersive experience, allowing them to explore Swatch's diverse collections and learn about the brand's history.
So I don't remember a lot about a Swatch store, but I remember I was madly in love with watches as a kid. And I posted the exact one that I had, not the exact one, but the style that I had on our socials. And it was the band almost looked like it was supposed to be white, but it looked dirty. But that's how it came.
Right.
And then the face was white with the green polka dots.
Oh yeah.
And then the red Coca-Cola, just small on top, at the top, and then the red
hands.
Yes. So. And I love that thing. Like, it was my pride and joy. And I used to go into cities. I'm going to have to guess I must have been in a city if I went into a Swatch store.
Yeah, we didn't have one around here.
Right. But I don't remember a lot of specifics, but I do remember walking in and just being like jaw to the floor.
The first time
heaven.
I went was in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I know exactly when it was. It was in 2000, and it was in Las Vegas because it was my first time in Vegas.
Okay.
And I was taking a break from gambling, and I went down to their mall, the fashion show mall.
Right.
And they had a Swatch, or it was Caesars, one of them. They had a Swatch store in there, and I was like, oh my God, it's the Swatch store. And I remember it so well. It was such a beautiful store. It was so modern and like
bright lights, glass shelves, cases.
Just cases, and the walls were covered with swatches.
That's how I remember it too.
Oh my God. It was the most beautiful place on earth. So then when I got married, then I had to stay out of the Swatch. Every time I went to Vegas, which I have been to Vegas far too many times for one person should be going to Vegas who lives this far away from Vegas. I had to stop going because then I had to start making decisions on whether I was going to gamble or buy a Swatch. And it was a very hard decision. So I thought, you know what? We're just going to eliminate one of these and don't go to the Swatch store.
Yeah.
So I didn't. I don't think I ever bought one. But then when I got married, there is one. It's still there, but I think they moved it. It's in the New York now. Or it was almost 6 years ago when I got married. We went in there and they have this book in the middle where you can look through it and see every swatch ever made. And it was, I'm pretty sure I spent like an hour and a half in there just looking through that book like, oh, I remember that one. Oh, I wanted that one. I had that one. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It's still glass shelves and very modern and very bright and very...
I love it.
Swatch-tastic. In the modern era, Swatch has embraced digital innovations and the rise of the smartwatches. Despite technological advances, Swatch has managed to maintain its cultural relevance. The brand's commitment to creativity, quality, and affordability, no. Sorry, that's just not. I just recently bought one, and it was way more than I would have normally spent on it was $200.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shoo.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Swatch's legacy is built on its ability to innovate and adapt. The brand has consistently pushed the boundaries of design and technology, setting trends and influencing the watch industry. So right now they have, because I came real close to spending more than $200 because they have the Simpsons line on there now. Oh. Yes. And I wanted one because one is just a donut.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, no, you don't need one. You don't need a Swatch. And then I did end up buying one, but it is from 95, so that doesn't count.
Yeah, that was an investment.
Sure. It better be. I might have just wasted money. I don't know.
Oh, wouldn't be the first time.
No, it certainly won't be the last. Swatch faces new challenges and opportunities. The rise of smartwatch. Like I said, they were supposed to come out, but their commitment to sustainability and eco-friendly practices will also play a crucial role in the future success. Also, I'm sorry, Swatch. Again, I gotta call you out for this because the package that his watch came in was like 400 levels to get into. Like it was like trying to get into Fort Knox, getting into this damn thing.
Not very sustainable.
It was not. It was like a box and a box and a box and a box.
Oh, yeah.
It was a lot of boxes. The future of Swatch will be defined by its ability to continue innovating while staying true to its core value. So I talked about The Simpsons and JoJo. So I found a list of the most highly valued swatches. The Swatch Kiki Picasso, $20,000.
What?
For a plastic watch.
What?
The watch was launched on March 20th, 1985 during an art exhibition in Paris. It was part of the Swatch Spring Summer Collection and was a limited edition piece with only 120 watches made.
Damn.
All 120 watches were given away to the VIPs of the exhibition, so you could never even purchase one from a store. The dial of the design of this watch was designed by French artist Christian Chaperon, going by the alias Kiki Picasso, hence the name of the watch. What makes this watch special is that each of the 120 dials is unique, featuring different colorways of the art. It looks like a Picasso, but it's done in different colors. All 120 of them are. I did not look where you could get that because I don't have 20 G's to throw away on a plastic watch.
No.
From 1985.
Man, with 20 G's, you could buy so many Swatches.
I can buy the whole damn store.
Yeah.
The Swatch Diaphony 1 turning gold watch is worth $8,000 plus. In 2006, Swatch surprised everyone by launching a slightly upgraded version of their Diaphony 1 watch. This one was called Diaphony Turning Gold and featured an 18-karat pink gold bezel and crown, which indicated that it's not your ordinary Swatch. It was what was called a skeleton watch because you can see the movements through the transparent case.
And I love that.
Yeah,
I love the gears of any clock.
When I think of, even though I have actually never had the one that you can see the gears through up until this Christmas when I bought one, that is what I think of. When I think of Swatch, I think of the ability to see through to the gears. Oh, it also had 25 hand wound rubies. So you think it would be more than worth $8,000.
For real.
So then there's the Andrew Logan Jellyfish, and it is $10K. It's the most unique watch by Swatch ever. It was designed by Andrew Logan to accompany his alternative Miss World contest that was sponsored by Swatch. The watch is called Jellyfish because its strap was fish-shaped to accompany the theme of that year's contest. The theme was under the sea, and what else could suit better than a watch that looks like a fish? Only 50 watches were made, and this Google site could not find any at auction.
Oh.
Yeah. Somebody did repurpose one, and it went for $10,000. The Swatch Olago Oreo watch is $8,500. It was part of the '89 Swatch Spring Summer collection that featured a minimalistic art of Mephistopheles, a trickster figure originating. Oh my god! In German folklore. It was no ordinary piece. It was limited edition, which came from the Design Your Own Swatch contest, which I remember the Design Your Own Swatch.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I remember when they did that. It was won by Italian artist Mimo Palladino, and only 140 were ever made. And they were only gifted to famous people, including Tom Cruise, Princess Caroline of Monaco, Prince Charles, who now King Charles, and Mikhail Gorbachev. So it's very exclusive.
Yeah.
In an '89 auction, it sold for $16,500. There is one on eBay for $8,500.
Okay.
But it doesn't work. Now, that's about Swatch. Blah, blah, blah. We're going to talk about me and my swatches. Because that's what I really care about. Me and my swatches. So before Joe and I met, I had one swatch I still had from like 100. I know. I don't know why I still had this one. And I never wore it. I don't think I particularly liked it. I think somebody got it for me, and I think my mom got it for me and I didn't like it.
So what happened to all your swatches?
I don't know. They're just lost to history. Well, a lot of them I'd ended up throwing away, unfortunately, because their bands were all fucked up, and because and then over time, the battery would stop working from working in restaurants.
Right.
Even though they did hold up. Not over time.
You did wear them hard.
I did wear them. I mean, I wore them every day. I worked 7 days a week through I wore the fuck out of them.
Yeah. Okay.
So I have one still, and it's multicolored band, and mine is the female, so it's small. So when we were moving in together, he was packing up his shit, and he was like, "Oh, look, I still have a swatch." And we have the exact same swatch.
What?
His is the male version, and mine's the female.
It was meant to be.
His is bigger, but on his is, I don't even know why I have the female version, because I don't like a small watch.
Yeah.
So we do have the same watch. So now they sit in the corner. And there's another one there that I don't remember what I meant to look at it today and I don't remember what it was. But my favorite was I did have a Halloween one now that I was thinking about. It glowed. It would glow in the dark and it had bats on the hand.
Okay.
And then I had a Las Vegas one that had strippers on the side and it had slot machines and then the inside was a roulette wheel.
Oh.
And then the hands were the roulette ball. Yeah. And then I had my favorite one was a space one and it glowed in the dark also. And it was just it was the constellations on the band and it had a couple constellations on the face. It was all blue. And then it came and I hate myself at this point for not keeping that fucker in its thing. And I knew then I should have left it in there, but I like to wear things.
Right.
And couldn't help myself. But it came, the package was like flat on the bottom and then it had a globe over top of it. And it was the moon.
Wow.
Yeah. And when I did look in that book at the Swatch thing, it was worth more money than I cared to admit that I threw in the trash and wore in a restaurant for a year and a half.
Yeah. Well, if we only knew back then, we'd all be millionaires.
I'm trying to think of what other one. Those are the ones that really stood out to me. The Vegas one I loved, and the Halloween one had the face was a pumpkin, and then had a bat on the hands. But I don't remember what the band was. I think it had like a black cat on it, and I'd have to look it up. And I don't know what year it was, so I'm sure they have a Halloween one every year.
Right.
Which, how I missed, again, the 95 Devil. I don't know. So that was my brief history of Swatch.
Yes, and I did go and look while you were talking. I looked up Swatch controversy.
Oh, uh-oh.
And the first thing that popped up is actually in Swatch's favor. In Malaysia, they officials came in and raided the store because they were selling LGBTQ watches. And Swatch sued the Malaysian government, won.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was good. But the only obscure thing I could find on like a what is it? A chat board?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure. That's what the kids call it. A technician who goes by the name The Watch Regulator on TikTok claimed he was fired from Swatch Group for disclosing that Swatch watches like Omega use parts from China, among other allegations. He also claimed that the company has a toxic work culture and that the annual yearly turnover at Swatch Group is 6 times the national average for the Swiss companies. The allegations were made on social media, so it's the usual caveat to apply. The question of Chinese parts in Omega or other Swiss watches is not a new discussion. The law in Switzerland maintains that 60% of the total value of the watch, parts and labor, must be made in country, which obviously leaves room for manufacturers to outsource the balance. So I don't know if your little hater knows somebody that worked for Swatch and didn't like it there. I mean, so I always figured that they were more inclusive just because of what they had.
Right.
But
it could be
everybody's got a hater.
Yeah.
And I don't care.
No.
They're not made in a sweatshop in China, so.
No, exactly.
I mean, maybe they're but come on. First of all, of course shit was made in China. Everything is made in fucking China.
Everything.
Yeah, there's nothing. You don't own a goddamn thing that doesn't have a piece of it that came from China. You just don't.
My friend was telling me the other day her mom was disappointed because she, the worry stones you can hold and rub. So she had ordered a couple of little crosses and she wanted to send one to her friend who's sick. And they said they were handcrafted. And she was very upset when it got to her and said, made in China.
Made in China.
It was handcrafted by very tiny little child hands.
Little baby hands.
Yes.
That's the thing. Like everything you own has a piece of it from China. Everything. These American made cars, come on.
All the parts are made overseas. Yeah. And they just put it together here. Yeah.
I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Exactly.
Okay, so whatever. I'm sorry if my love of Swatch offends people. I don't fucking care. Because guess what? I'm still going to wear my Swatches.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Exactly.
I don't care if they commit genocide. I don't care about other people.
I think, well,
Other people.
yeah, I know.
And they're dying. Just get rid of the whole planet. It'd be good with me. I know.
I good. There's the cranky pants I love.
It's just, it's a fucking watch.
Yeah.
And guess what? I work in a toxic work environment also.
Yes. Yeah.
There's not a single workplace. If you work for a company that you don't have a toxic work environment, where you don't have that one bitch who tattletales on every fucking thing you do, or that one bully, or it's like being in high school.
Or a micromanager.
Yeah, this one doesn't like me, and this one talks about me, and this one has an attitude. Okay, well, just, you know what I do? I keep to myself. I hide in my little corner, and I put my little earbuds in.
Yeah.
There's everywhere.
I mind my own business as well.
I mean, if they're whipping people, I feel like we would have heard about that by now. and I mean, okay, all right, whatever. This guy came at me and I didn't like it, so he can fuck her all the way off.
Yeah, I agree.
You just didn't, whatever. Oh, you know what else I forgot? I meant to put in there. Do you remember who had one? I had a friend who had one. It was a wall clock. It was a Swatch wall clock. Yeah.
Yes. And the band, like the whole watch.
The whole watch.
Yeah. So it was like
huge.
the length of the wall.
Yes. It was like
or the height of the wall.
It was like 4.5 feet tall.
Yes. Yep. I do remember that.
I do know somebody who had that. And I want to say like one of the TV, like maybe Clarissa Explains It All, or one of them had it in there. Like there was one in a TV show. I'm going to look it up.
I was always really fascinated with all the Coca-Cola ones. I don't know why.
I like the Coca-Cola ones.
But they all really always caught my eye, which is why that's the one I picked when I got one. The one I just recently got for Christmas it's a plastic band, but it's like silvery glittery. So it looks like shiny wristband.
Mine had like, it was black and silver, the fancy one. And it had like every other bead was like silver and then black and then silver and then black. And it had like a regular little clasp. And
yeah, there's a really elegant like silver banded one that I think is a metal band actually that I've looked at.
They do have a lot of metal ones now. I can't find it. I know there was one that had one on TV and I don't remember. Oh man, sometime you should Google Swatch wall clocks because they're pretty awesome. Look at that one.
Whoa.
Oh shit. My mom actually likes Swatches too. She's had a ton. Pretty much every time she'd buy me one, she'd buy herself one. So we have a lot of Swatch. I've given a lot of money.
Maybe she saved all her packaging. And you'll have expensive ones.
No, she did or not. She probably didn't save the packaging, but she probably still has them all. I don't know though, because when they moved, they got rid of. We made her get rid of. Patty.
So you don't have to do it later.
Yeah, that's what I fucking said to her. I was like, lady, because she was like, oh no, I was. She had shit from when I was like in elementary school, like a report card from like 4th grade and all this. And I was like, I'm throwing this away. And she was like, no, don't throw it. And I was like, it's my report card. If I want to throw it in the trash, I'm going to throw it in the trash. And she was all kinds of, and I was like, Mom, nobody, and I mean nobody, wants this anymore. Who is going to take it? You think my niece and nephew care what grades I got in the 4th grade? They don't. They don't. Trust me. No one does. So we did end up getting rid of a lot of her. She's a hoarder.
Yeah.
Patty Hoarderhead. So that's Swatch.
I love that.
So if you wanted to look up swatches and then you wanted to tell us about your swatch that you had or how much you hate me for loving swatches, you can go right on ahead. I don't care. Come at me. Come at me, bro.
You're so aggressive today.
I'm aggressive because I don't know why.
You even had off work today.
I had off yesterday and today, and I'm just you know what it is? I do not want to go back to work tomorrow.
Yes.
Tomorrow is going to suck.
Yes.
And it's going to start snowing tomorrow at some point, and we're supposed to get anywhere from like 2 inches to 27,000 inches.
Yeah, they can't decide what's happening.
It is literally like you're either going to get no snow or 3 feet of snow.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm not kidding. It's 2 feet.
And it's been weird the whole time. Like when it was going to be real big, nobody was even talking about it. And then they're like, oh, it looks like it might pass us. Oh, well, let's just wait and see.
Yeah. Now we're gonna today they came out with it and they were like, well, maybe it'll be less than we said. I don't know, but we'll talk about it tomorrow. Hey, isn't it supposed to start tomorrow? At some point, I don't know when.
Yes.
So I'm already stressed out about this week.
Okay.
So I'm aggressive.
Well, we recorded the podcast a day early, so that
Yeah,
gives you...
it's only Monday, and that's part of it. Shit, too. So
Yeah.
Anyway, we're trying to keep them shorter now, guys. We're trying to.
Yeah, we get long-winded. We don't
do.
mean to.
We got long-winded in the beginning of this, so if you just wanted to, skip through that, don't skip through. That's mean.
No, don't skip.
Anyway, you can like, share, rate, review the little 5 stars. You can follow us on all of our socials.
And we have a new Facebook group.
Oh, that's right.
Like Whatever Pod. It is a group, not just a page. We have both, but
I don't know what that means.
I don't really either, but
somebody wanted it, so there it is.
Yeah.
Definitely go to YouTube, like Whatever Pod on there. I know some have had trouble finding it, and I don't know why. Anyway, it's on there. Just
look at her cute cartoons.
Please check out my cute cartoons because I did work kind of hard on them. I mean, mostly it was AI, but I did have to, whatever. We're trying to do video. Yeah. So it's a lot harder to edit video and sound than it is to just do the audio. Because I got really good at that audio thing. But now the video, there's a whole nother component. Anyway, so we are still trying to do that. Plus, we don't have a camera, so we have to use one of our phones, and that's not been going well.
Yeah.
Because then I don't know where the fuck my phone is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
That's on. And TikTok. I have been posting a lot on TikTok. If you're on TikTok, there's this new thing called mass following, where like everybody Gen X is mass following each other for whatever reason.
Oh, that's just something that randomly started?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just like you just go on to other people's and you comment, and then like everybody follows everybody in all of the comments. Some of these people have gained like 6,000-7,000 followers because if you have a certain amount of followers, then you can get money.
Right.
You can monetize.
Right.
So if someone watches your video for longer than like 5 seconds or something, I don't really know how it works, but so if you're on the Tickety Talk, I have been posting a lot on there recently.
Nice.
So any of those places, anywhere you can find podcasts, we are. And the email is likewhateverpod@gmail.com. So you can send us an email or don't, like whatever.
Whatever.
Bye.
Bye.